Tuesday, January 7th. Andrew, Carmine, and the Prez here to break down 3 games, props, a new segment with Carmine, best bets at the end of the show. And we have all kinds of promo for you guys today. Specials, deals, and of course, $5 Tuesday. Every capper, $5, one play at WagerTalk.com. Carm, we are very happy to have you back on the show. You're back on the show for a big slate of games as well here on a Tuesday, which means you had a lot of pressure to pick 3 good ones for us. We had some hate, people saying, why didn't Carm choose the Canucks and Habs game yesterday? But what games did you choose for us today, man? Good to see you.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's good to be back. The voice is almost fully back there. And I was with Prez last night, who's on the show today, and he will attest that I don't think he barely heard me all night. We were at a poker tournament. I hardly said 2 words the whole night other than cursing at the Buffalo Sabres for beating the Washington Capitals. But we're going to cover Ottawa and Detroit because, Andrew, I said in yesterday's chat, we're going to cover Detroit tonight because one guy wants to ask you about Lucas Raymond and why we continue to not give him the respect he deserves. So I had to put them on today's card. Dallas and the New York Rangers. We had to put this game on there. The Rangers only 3 wins in their last 11 games. Somehow they beat Dallas in Dallas. So we'll see what happens tonight. Your prop playlist. We're going to finish it off with Nashville and Winnipeg. One team starting to win a couple games. One team a little bit of regression setting in. We'll see how that goes. Then we're going to do the Carm and Dan Road to the Super Bowl. We have 3 bullets in the chamber. So if we get this one wrong tonight, we're going to come right back with and do it again tomorrow or when a game dictates. They're always going to be plus money bets, plus money sides. We need to win 5 in a row. We start with a $200 bankroll and keep rolling it. 5 straight plays will get us about 13, 14K, and that'll get Dan and us to the Super Bowl. And then we'll finish it off with our best bets. But speaking of the Prez, let's bring him right in. He had some harsh words for Johnny Detroit last time we discussed the Detroit Red Wings and the Ottawa Senators. He could care less about his season tickets. How do you feel about the Red Wings and Senators tonight, Prez? 105 for Detroit at home, minus 115 for Ottawa as they finish a 9-game road trip in Detroit.
Well, firstly, thanks for having me, guys. A real pleasure. I never have bad words to say about the great Johnny Detroit. Carmine is making that shit up. $5 Tuesday, if I can just let everyone know what I have going for my clients on $5 Tuesday. The bottom line is I've got your NFL play. I've got my best total of the wild card weekend up for you guys. It's only $5. And I'm on a 14-2 run in the NFL. I went 4-1 in week 18 and 10-1 in week 17. So I don't think there are many people out there that are on a 14-2 run in any sport. I'm on one in NFL, and I have a 4% play up for you guys. It is my number 1 strongest total for wildcard weekend. As for the Detroit-Ottawa game, here we got Detroit with that coach's bump. They lost their first one to Toronto 5-2. Then they went out and won 5 games in a row. They've also allowed only 1 game of those 5 with more than 2 goals. And they're scoring of late, 4-5, 4-4. They're playing the Senators, who are struggling to score. They just put a duck up against St. Louis and have not scored more than 3 goals in their last 5 games. Senators are also regressing right in front of our very eyes. They've lost 4 of their last 5. This is the road trip from hell. I have to think that the Red Wings are going to win here tonight. It is a very short number. I think, look, Ottawa clearly wants to go home winning. We all want things. I want Charlize Theron. She has not returned 1 single DM I've ever sent her. We can't have what we want always. So forget about Ottawa's desires. This is a bad hockey team that is 6 or 7 games removed from the best run they've had in a long, long time. And I like this Detroit team coming into the season. They just started off so horribly to the point where they finally fired their coach. They've now turned it around. And I think Detroit is a bet on team moving forward. I like the Red Wings tonight in that short price.
Prez, I tend to agree with you. I'm going to send it to Andrew on this one. I like the Wings in this one.
Oh, I thought it
No,
was about
the Red Wings. Because you're getting a buy low price at them, and yeah, they're 4-1 since the coaching change. 4 straight wins after that loss to the Leafs. Obviously with the new coach, and we saw it last year with the Edmonton Oilers. They went on that insane 16-game win streak, and then there was a break. And when they came out of the break, they weren't the same team, and that streak gets broken. The Ottawa Senators were on a very good run, 8-1. And now they followed up with a 1-4 start after the holiday break. So a little tough for them. Also, 8 games of travel for them on this road trip. Any 8-game road trip is always going to be tough. This is 9. Now they've had 3 days off since their last loss, that one to St. Louis, which was on the 3rd. So they've had 3 days off. We'll see if they can end this trip with a better performance. But I like the Red Wings here. When a team gets on a run, they're obviously feeling good, and the Red Wings are feeling good. And the East, as I go to Andrew next, is absolutely the bottom 8, bottom 9 are within 6 points, guys. It's unbelievable. The Montreal Canadiens are in a playoff spot. Yes, Andrew, I got your text message last night. The Montreal Canadiens are in a playoff spot. But you can throw out so many different numbers. The Canadiens are in a playoff spot. The Buffalo Sabres are 6 points out of a playoff spot. The New York Rangers are 3 points out of being in last place overall in the Eastern Conference. 6 points separating like 9 teams is absolutely unbelievable. Parity in the NHL or futility in the Eastern Conference, Andrew? What's your thoughts on this game and this Eastern Conference?
Well, first of all, as a hockey fan, it's just really exciting to see. It really is. I mean, it's exciting to see that although it seems like the top of the top is kind of already decided, those teams are just competing for home ice advantage. So I guess, Carm, those teams are competing for something in their own. But as far as these bottom teams, it's great to see. The middle of the pack teams, I should say, competing for wild card positioning, competing for a certain spot. Like you said, it's only decided within a handful of points right now. So a lot of it is about scheduling. A lot of it is overcoming some of these tough scheduling spots. And, I try not to talk up the Canadians too much in the show. Number one, I haven't really had that many reasons to. And number two, everybody will just call me biased. But when you look at the Canadians for what they did, Carm, they beat the Panthers, Golden Knights, Avalanche, Lightning. I mean, they had some good teams in front of them they still were able to beat. To Prez's point, the Ottawa Senators had a very tough road trip, right? I mean, this is the thing that I look at is quality versus, just a loss against anybody, right? And this is the thing. The Ottawa Senators lost against the St. Louis Blues when they were on the second half of a back-to-back, and the St. Louis Blues took advantage of them. They lost to a really good Dallas Stars team 4-2. They lost to a really good Winnipeg Jets team 4-2. They lost to a really good Edmonton Oilers team 3-1. So when I look at all these games the Ottawa Senators have lost lately, how many of those games am I sitting there saying they should have won that? They were favorites to win that game. Look, guys, despite the streak right now for the Red Wings, I'm in firm belief that this is kind of a game here for the Ottawa Senators that's a step down versus the competition they've been playing lately. When you go from playing the Stars, the Winnipeg Jets, the Edmonton Oilers, and then you play the Detroit Red Wings and you're almost pick 'em, I got to take the Ottawa Senators here. Motivated, desperate here, closing out a road trip. This is the team that I want. So I'm on the different page here. I'm taking the Ottawa Senators. The coach's bump has been great for the Red Wings, and they have gotten a mixed bag of good and bad teams. To Prez's point, they lost to the Leafs. Hard to beat the Leafs right now, that's for sure. After that, they went on a really good run. But I still think the Ottawa Senators, look, they've been dealing with a sickness in the locker room. They lost Allmark. And right now, I'm curious to see what this team can be without Allmark. but I do think they can beat the Detroit Red Wings tonight. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, we kind of have two types of teams going head-to-head right now. A team playing really well and a team playing not so well. So we'll see what happens, and we'll see which team can come out on top, Carm. But the gloves are off already. I'm head-to-head with you guys. We'll see what ends up happening. But I'll throw it to you for our next game here, Carm, with the Stars and Rangers.
Yeah, this one's an interesting one. As I mentioned, only 3 wins for the New York Rangers in their last 10 games. One of them was against the Dallas Stars. An unusual total in this one. But maybe it has something to do with the Rangers because you don't see a lot of Dallas Star games at 6.5. The Stars, excuse me, the Stars opened up minus 135 overnight. It is 170 right now. Plus 145 is the take back on the New York Rangers. Prez, I'm going to go to you on this one, but I'm going to make mine short and sweet because I'm losing my voice again. 5 straight games for the New York Rangers going over the total in the first period, and that's where I'm going to land here. The first period over is minus 130 on the 1.5. We know Shesterkin's on the IR, so it's either going to be quick, and I think it's going to be quick in goal tonight, or Deming in goal, but I'm pretty sure it'll be quick. I'm going to take the over first period minus 130. In that 3-1 game that was in Dallas, 3 of the 4 goals were scored in the first period, including one that was called back, and then I think an empty netter at the end. All the scoring in the first period. We'll see some more today or tonight. Minus 1.5 or over 1.5, minus 130 for me. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Carm, I'll make this quick. I don't love this game. I have had a really good read on the Dallas Stars of late. They've been a team that I've been betting on or against or totals. Like, just I'm involved in a lot of their games. I would look at the Rangers here at home plus 145. I don't love this spot with Dallas. They've just won 4 in a row. Now they're hitting the road, cross country. First game of the road trip. So I'm not loving the spot with Dallas. And I mean, there's so much talent on this Rangers team. It's amazing they don't have a new coach. They just beat Chicago 6-2. Maybe that's what they need to get rolling. Don't love this play, but I would prefer taking the money than laying 175 on a team that's hitting the road. So yeah, New York Rangers for me, plus the 145.
And Andrew,
All right.
we're giving you the
All
last
right,
word
all
on
right,
this
all
game.
right.
Sorry, I had to unmute myself real quickly. Last word on this one, Andrew, before we hit your prop segment, which continues to spit out winners. Thoughts on this Stars? A little bit of revenge tonight?
Look, Arm, this is kind of like that cliche Andrew play that the chat room is just expecting. They know where I'm going. They know what I've been doing lately. I know you kind of know some of these plays already ahead of time. And you don't like to really become predictable, Carm, but I guess I kind of am here in this game. Team total over 3.5. I'm getting even money on this contest here. The only thing that worries me is that I'm just waiting for a bad game out of the Dallas Stars. And if that's the only thing that worries me, then I'm going to play it. Because, this team has had constant spots where you think they could have a letdown against Utah, against these bottom teams, against these below 500 teams, against non-playoff teams, and they have no letdown. And let's be honest, even though the Rangers are 7th in the Metropolitan Division, they're still a team that teams want to beat, teams get up for. And if you're playing at Madison Square Garden, you're going to get excited for these games. So looking at the last few losses for the New York Rangers, the Capitals score 7 on them. The Panthers score 5 on them. The Lightning score 6 on them. The Devils score 5 on them. When this team loses, they give up at least 4 goals. The Dallas Stars, 3 of their last 4 wins, they have scored at least 4 goals. So, I mean, look at the price here at minus 170. This is what I've been trying to preach this year on PuckTime. When you're taking these plus prices, when I'm taking the team totals, it's not as much for the prize when I win. It's about taking care of your bankroll for if you do lose. So for me right now, if I had a 3% play on this game and it loses, I'm losing 3%. If you have 3%, you're betting to win 3, on a minus 170, your bankroll is taking a hit on that. And to me right now, if the Rangers do lose this game, I strongly believe they will give up at least 4 goals. So Dallas team total up and over 3.5 plus 100. Love that price on this one. All right, guys, I'll be really quick with the props here. Yesterday, I was happy to get some winners out to you guys as the prop segment has been up and down this season. But we are on a long-term extended, like last 35 plays hitting 75% in the NHL. And as of yesterday, I am now the #1 NHL handicapper at the website at WagerTalk. Carm and myself have a really, really good deal. Puck 50 will take $50 off a 30-day NHL package. Puck 50, PUCK 50. If you guys want to join me on all of my NHL plays, whenever I release them, Puck 50 will save you guys $50 off a 30-day NHL package. The 2 props for today in the NHL, we're going to start things off with Evgeny Malkin from the Pittsburgh Penguins to get a point. He has a point in 4 straight home games for the Pittsburgh Penguins. They're playing a very weak opponent, and when you play a weak opponent, that's when you want to capitalize on these props, and you want to take advantage of the low-hanging fruit. And right now, since Malkin isn't having the best season and this team isn't scoring that many goals, you're getting plus 100 on this guy to score just a point. I got to be involved in that. I got to take Malkin to get a point tonight. The next one is going to be in the Philadelphia and Toronto game, and Prez will discuss that in his best bet segment. I'm going to take a look at Travis Konechny from the Philadelphia Flyers. For me, I think over 2.5 shots on goal is a good one, but also to get a point is a good prop. You guys can take either of those, but when I look at him, he can record a point at minus 125. This is the thing. He is a hard-nosed player. He is a guy with a point in 4 straight games versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. He also has had success with his shots on goal props games versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. So these teams played each other very recently. They only played a handful of days ago. There's been a lot of these home-and-home type of games going on lately in the NHL. So when I see those type of situations, I want to ride the hot hand. A player is playing well against a certain opponent. You bet them against that opponent. Maybe they match up well. Maybe their style of play works well. Whatever it might be, Travis Konechny, minus 125 to get a point, and Evgeny Malkin to get a point for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Carm, sticking to 2 props for now, trying to get on a run with these props here on the segment. Hopefully, we can keep things rolling with those 2 plays. And again, that's a great deal for Carmine, for myself. Puck 50, saving $50 off a 30-day package. If you guys want to get on board, I know it's $5 Tuesday, but guys, get on board for a longer-term package. Last like 35 plays, we're hitting at a 75% clip. It's hard to beat that, and doing extremely well. So back over to you, Carm, and don't forget to use that special, guys, on the both of us.
Let's get that run going, Andrew. Thankfully, the New Jersey Devils won in regulation last night. I was fuming with Prez on the drive home last night, but I digress. Let's get to this last game. Winnipeg and Nashville. This one, the line has been going up and down on this game since the overnight came out. Winnipeg opened up as a bigger favorite, 160, 170. Then down to 145 before we went to air. Now back up to like 155. There's nothing on the goalies as of yet. I would expect Saros because I would expect it to be Saros for Nashville because they only have 2 games in the next 7 days. The Winnipeg Jets, it's likely to be Hellebuck for them. The weird scenario here, Prez, and this one is that Nashville started a 6-game road trip. Their second game was in Winnipeg, a game that finished 3-0 in that 3-0, but 2 power play goals in the third period salted that one away, including a 5-on-3 for Winnipeg. Nashville's been a little better the last couple of games, playing well. This is one where we're seeing a little bit of regression from this Winnipeg Jets team. They played so well for so long. You figure they were going to lose some games. They lost 3 in a row. Only one prior time this season they've lost multiple games, and that was a 4-game losing skid. Does it get the 4 tonight? I like the over in this game. I think we're going to see some goals in this one just because Nashville's finding the puck.
You coming to me, Carm?
Yes, your name is Prez.
Yeah, it is. Man, this game is a struggle for me. Honestly, if you could find a 6 out there, I would prefer the under than anything else. I really don't have much to say about this game. I'm kind of laying off of both teams. None of my customers are playing Nashville games very often. I can't make heads or tails on this team. They're absolutely loaded with talent all over the ice. Good coaching, good goaltending. They can't get out of their own damn way. And Winnipeg is clearly in a regression mode. I would take the under if you can get a 6. Otherwise, this is just a complete pass for me.
So for me, guys, I like to look these days. I was talking to Carm about this on the phone actually this morning, and I kind of vented on PuckTime about this loss I had. I think I vented to Andy Lang about this actually, about taking unders lately. And if I take an under, I want to just narrow in on one specific team. I want to just look towards taking their team total under versus taking the full game over or full game under. And the reason for that is you don't have to worry about the empty net, right? I mean, the empty net last night, I had the team total under mentioned on the show in the Seattle Kraken game. If New Jersey scored the empty netter, that game goes over 5.5, but it does not impact my under on Seattle's team total. Well, you have Winnipeg off a loss, Nashville off a win. My clients were on that Nashville game. But when I look at this, I always want to look at teams that have a defensive identity when they're coming off a loss to go back to their roots and play a solid defensive game. When the Minnesota Wild lose a game, I'll expect defense the next game. When the Carolina Hurricanes lose a game, I expect defense the next game. Well, when the Winnipeg Jets lose a game, I want to look towards their opponent, Nashville, under 2.5 goals, minus 105. To me, that's the way to play this. It's a really good price. And that way, whatever Winnipeg does not affect me. The only thing I'm betting on is on home ice, they play a solid defensive game. So minus 105 after a really good performance on one night. I'm looking for a bad performance offensively the next night here, Carm. What are your thoughts on that new way of thinking? I'm kind of I was a team total over guy for so long, but now I'm starting to figure out these team total unders as well.
No, listen, I get where you're coming from on it. I think we're just on different sides of this one as far as the total goals. I think it's where it should be. I think those last couple of games, Nashville has definitely improved. That win, even though it was a 3-0 game in Vancouver, was a really good game for them. You look at it at sort of like the XG, and their XG is getting a little bit better. Their power play is coming together. Their penalty killing is coming together, and that's what they're going to need to put together a streak. They're a good team that we expected wins from that they didn't get them at the beginning of the season. And then they go into Calgary, and I know it's not a big thing going into Calgary. No disrespect to the Flames fans, but they went to Calgary and they win that game 4-1, and that was with Dustin Wolf in net, who's been standout at home. I think he was like 10-1-1 heading into that game, and they get 4 in that one as well too. The power play is coming together. If Winnipeg is undisciplined tonight, Nashville I think is going to make him pay for it. Stamkos has found his shot in his office there, kind of like Ovechkin, kind of like your Caulfield for Montreal. When the goals start to go in, sometimes it's just sort of steamrolls through 3, 4, 5 games. This is a team that started a miserable 6-game road trip by losing the first 3 and have won the last 2. They'd love nothing better than to get home with a win against this Winnipeg Jets team. But I see goals in this one because Winnipeg just doesn't give up either. So that's why I'm leaning to the 5.5, Andrew.
Yeah, no, I get it. And the thing is, there's going to be spots, Carm, where you just take the 5.5, right? And I just don't believe the Nashville Predators can have two good games in a row. That's the thing for me. Like, Prez talked about the talent that they have, and I completely understand that. But when I look at this team overall, I haven't seen any type of consistency out of them overall, looking at some of their games they've played lately. So, Carm, I'm looking forward to the segment that you and Dan created. But I want to know, are you gonna like paint your face, like go all like fan mode, have a huge like jersey, and like you're jumping through tables if your teams end up matching up? What's the plan for the big game?
Somehow the Eagles and the Bills find their ways into the Super Bowl, I'm going to slam Dan through a table. I don't even know if I can lift him up, Andrew, because you mentioned in your prop segment low hanging fruit. When you get to be my age, that's the only thing. That's not the only thing that's low hanging. I don't
Oh
have the strength
God.
I once did. Shut up, Prez. Anyways, so to explain this is similar to the ladder challenge. But because we're taking plus money plays, we need to win 5 and only 5. I've doubled the bankroll, and we'll have 2 extra bullets if one goes wrong or 2 go wrong. But the idea is to win 5 straight, all in plus money bets, and that'll turn 200 into about 13 or 14K at plus money, of course. And that's enough to get Dan and I to the Super Bowl. Dan, you're driving, by the way, and just have a great time. So without further ado, because I'm driving in this one, he has me actually looking like one of those road rage drivers because I'm in the driver's seat. Let's see that image, Dan. I am taking the St. Louis. That's road rage
That's
right there, man.
awesome. That's
That is
awesome.
road rage. I am taking the St. Louis Blues with bullet number 1. And let me explain why I'm taking the St. Louis Blues in this one against Minnesota. I get it. Listen, Minnesota is a very good team. Um, um, a couple players missing. It should be Gustafson and Binnington in net. Binnington's been very good. 3 of his last 4 games, he's allowed a total of 2 goals. He's got a couple shutouts and 2 goals. The one loss in there was a 4-2 loss to the Sabres, in which the Sabres scored 2 power play goals. 5-on-5, this team is playing well. If they can stay out of the box, they can win this game. And here's some 5-on-5 numbers for you. Their last 10 games, the St. Louis Blues have allowed 27 goals. 5-on-5, they've only allowed an average of 1.58 goals per game. Their last 10 games, 5-on-5. This is a team that's playing some great hockey with Jim Montgomery, 5-on-5. Stay out of the box, and the Blues can get us the plus money win. We've got plus 120 up there because I sent the play into Dan this morning. But the Blues are getting a little bit of love. I'm seeing plus 110, plus 105. So they're getting a little bit of love for a line that started at about minus 170 last night for the Winnipeg Jets. For the Minnesota Wild, and has been dropping ever since. So plus 120, guys. Bullet number 1 of the ladder challenge. Let's see if we can get through game number 1. Andrew, what do you think? What do you,
I
Prez?
love
Give
it.
us your thoughts as well.
Look at that graphic, Prez. That's pretty sweet.
The graphic was incredible. Carmine's eyes rule. And I have zero opinion on anything, as I'm currently writing the analysis for my $5 play as Carm was talking.
Carm's eyes in that graphic look like Prez walking into a Grateful Dead concert. Am I wrong there?
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
I don't know if Carm knows where he is. He shouldn't be driving a vehicle.
Yes, let me demonstrate. So here is a demonstration of Prez's eyes at a Grateful Dead concert. Ready? Something like that.
Andrew, those were also his eyes driving home last night.
Yes, they were. Carm was so antsy.
because the middle of your hood of your car should not line up with the line that's on the highway. You're supposed to be between the lines, not centered on the line. You're taking 2 lanes. Who takes 2 lanes? Like, what
You're
kind of white
way
privilege is that?
safer.
Come on.
You're way safer taking 2 lanes. That way nobody can sideswipe you. I was only thinking of you, Carm.
Carm, I hope
Okay,
the
thank you.
Toronto Highway Patrol is not listening to this. How are you going to do Prez like that? Come on, man. You're going to get him caught. You're going to. This is tough. This is
Listen,
tough. We got to move on. We got to move on.
listen, if the Ontario Highway Patrol are listening to this, please leave Prez alone. Do not bother him at 123 Evergreen Terrace, which is located at the corner of. Sorry.
Fir
With that
tree
said, Prez,
and
tell us what you have up. Tell us what you have up at WagerTalk and give us a show best bet.
okay, so I actually I called Ralph Michaels yesterday. I'm like, Ralph, I need a killer promo. We need to make a shit ton of sales this week for this guy. So I am on a 14-2 NFL run. I have a 5% NFL play up already. I have my 4% total of the week up. That's my $5 play. You guys can get my NFL entire playoffs for free. All you have to do is buy a month of my NHL, $179 for a month of my NHL, and my entire NFL playoffs are free. That is an insane freaking promo. Like, insane value on that promo. How am I doing in NHL? I'm on a 12-2 run in NHL. Yes, 14-2 NFL run, 12-2 NHL run. I won my NHL last night. I'm up profit on the NHL season like always. So guys, for $179, you buy a month of my NHL, you get my entire NFL playoffs for free. That is what I have going. I'm also rolling in NBA again, so that's really great news on that one. Really quick, my show free play is the under in the Leafs and the Philadelphia Flyers game. Now, there's 80% is sixes out there, but there are some 6.5s. The 6.5s are juiced to 135. I like that play the best from a value perspective. Under 6.5, 135. Look, you should always be looking to play Leaf games under. The bottom line is it's hard to score more than 2 goals against this Leafs team. This is a smothering forecheck, a stand-up defense, and it doesn't matter who's in net. Might be the best goalie threesome in the league. Plus, with Craig Berube trying to change the team around, they're playing more north-south as opposed to cycling like they used to play or like the Colorado Avalanche play. And Philadelphia, this is a team that was playing to the over at the beginning of the year, a team that was changing their identity, not so much. Back to John Tortorella's normal style of play. Let's win ugly. Let's win low. Let's win in a slow, hard checking game. I like under the total of 6.5 in the Leafs game. I'm going to bug off. I've got WagerTalk today starting in 26 minutes. Lots of basketball will be discussed on that show. Make sure to join us. Gentlemen, thanks so much for having me. Guys, hit that like button. Show Carmen and Andrew a lot of love. They deserve it. And that's it for me. I'm out of here.
All right, Prez is on a roll and rolling right off of the show, Andrew. My best bet, remember that coupon is a great coupon. Andrew set that up, NHL 50, get $50 off. That is a great deal. You can find that over on our, you can find the packages on our pages at WagerTalk and punch in that code to get that discount. Andrew, one customer appreciation play up for me today on $5 Tuesdays. 13-4 since we started this customer appreciation. 13-4 run, a winner last Tuesday in NHL as well too. So let's see if we can get that going, get it to 14-4 with these plays. My best bet, I am going to go with, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The Vegas Golden Knights on the puck line. Yes, they're on the road. They're in San Jose. Yes, it is likely to be Yaroslav Askarov, who's been playing extremely well for San Jose, as Andrew talked about on yesterday's show. But it's hard to ignore a number like 26 and 13 plus 16.65 units for the Vegas Golden Knights this season when betting them on the puck line, whether they are -1.5 or +1.5. And while San Jose is good as well too, a lot of their profit this season has come on the road when they were getting the +1.5s. 7 units, only 1 unit at home. So this is where I'm landing. Vegas Golden Knights are playing some very good hockey right now. I'm taking Vegas Golden Knights. If we need the empty netter, we'll get the empty netter. -1.5 on Vegas, +105 is my show best bet, Andrew.
I like that play right now. And Carm, they are rolling. They are, man, why is nobody talking about them? I mean, you know I'm not the biggest Golden Knights fan at all, but hey, they're playing some pretty good hockey right now, and so they do deserve their respect, and I look forward to seeing how they do this season. I just went back and looked at the numbers because I wanted to make sure I was accurate. Last 35 plays for me, 74% overall in the NHL. Guys, we do have the $5 Customer Appreciation Day, but it's a big day in the NHL. So that's the thing, guys, is that it's kind of disappointing for us, Carm, because people are going to just buy one play for us on Tuesdays because of $5 Tuesday, but it's one of the 3 busiest days of the week in the NHL. So you guys can get that $5 play from me or get all of my plays. Promo code PUCK50 takes $50 off the next 30 days. I'm not saying I'm going to be able to replicate the 74% run my last 35 plays, but we're seeing the board really well. Number 1 regular season, number 1 going back to the preseason, and really managing the bankroll really well in the NHL, guys. So join me over at WagerTalk.com. Best bet for the show, you guys already heard me talk about it. Dallas team total over 3.5 +100. Love the price. Love the spot. When this team wins, they score 4 goals. When the Rangers lose, they certainly give up at least 4 goals. This is my free play of the day. Let's rock with the Dallas Stars over 3.5, and wishing you guys all a profitable and successful night in the NHL. And as Prez mentioned, Wager Talk today coming up at 12 o'clock Eastern time, just about 20 minutes time. Thank you all for watching. Please hit the like button on the way out. We'll see you next time right here on Puck Time.